What's good, y'all? It's Classic MMA here, and today I'll be telling you why Leon Edwards vs. Carlos Prates is a closer fight than you think. So, coming into this fight, looking at odds, at least on Monday, may change later in the week. We have Carlos Prates as a minus 210 favorite, and Leon Edwards as a plus 175 underdog. But do those odds really tell the full story? Well, let's jump into it. So, first, I will be discussing why I think Carlos Prates will win. Then I will discuss why I think Leon Edwards will win. Why Prates will win. Leon has never faced a true KO artist in his prime. Like, truthfully, if you look at the most dangerous opponents Leon Edwards has ever fought, he has fought, like, punch power wise, an old Donald Cerrone, like 35-year-old at welterweight Donald Cerrone, like, not a dangerous fight. Brian Barberena and Vicente Luque, like a young Vicente Luque. He was dangerous, don't get me wrong, but he was also, a jiu-jitsu guy, a grappler. Like, you just have to look at that for what it is. Like, truthfully, though, Leon Edwards just never really fought anyone that dangerous. Like, you know, Leon was losing, and then we have to look at this. Leon was losing on the feet in the first round of the Brady fight. So yes, what everyone remembers about the Sean Brady fight with Leon is how Leon just got bullied around on the ground. But actually, in the first round, for about 2.5 minutes, the fight took place on the feet. And even though Brady's boxing is super simple, not really that great, he was tagging Leon up. He was doing damage. Like, he was winning on the feet. He was out striking him, just getting in his face and throwing stuff. So eventually, he was able to and then he took him down and beat him up more. So. That's just not a good sign, because if you're losing on the feet to Sean Brady, then Carlos Prates can do some pretty nice things on the feet. Then we have to look at this. Leon was rocked badly and could have been finished by pillow hands and Nate Diaz, and not like prime Nate Diaz, not the one that fought McGregor, not the one who even fought like Cowboy back in 2010. This fight was in 2021. Nate Diaz was 36 years old, man. Student coming off a huge layoff and was just, basically just took this as a money fight. And yes, Leon dominated a good part of the fight with his wrestling, and well, in that fifth round, Nate Diaz hits a nasty combo and hurts Leon bad. And if he didn't emote at him and just went for the finish, Leon would have been KO'd. He would have been slept. Which, I mean, for Nate Diaz, like, truthfully, how many KOs does Nate Diaz have? You may wonder. He has 4 KOs in over 30 pro MMA fights. Like, 4 KOs, and that's who Leon's getting rocked up by. Like, come on, man. Then also, if you look, he fought Brian Barberena, who, don't get me wrong, Brian Barberena was a dog, got in some tough fights, but 9-10 record in the UFC, and Leon got dropped by Barberena, nearly finished. If that fight didn't happen in 2017 and happened today, the refs would have stopped it, bro. Like, go look back at that fight, and you'll see Leon was nearly finished, which is crazy by Brian Barberena. Then we have to look at this. Yes, Leon is always begging for a striker and all this, but the last striker that Leon fought was Pillow Hands Nate Diaz over 4 years ago, who also rocked him, beat him up bad in that fifth round. I mean, could have knocked him out. That's crazy. Pillow Hands Nate Diaz nearly knocked him out. Like, come on. Now, this next point actually I think is something I haven't really heard anyone talking about, and this isn't really not a long camp for either, which could give Prates an advantage. If you look at Leon's last fight, he was originally supposed to fight JDM. Then JDM gets booked for the title fight, and he fights Sean Brady on short notice and gets beat up. Since this fight's on pretty short notice, got booked a month or two ago. Like, I just don't know if Leon's is not gonna be able to prepare, technically correct for a fighter like Prates, who was so dangerous. Then another one that, oh, Carlos Prates just KO'd Jeff Neal. And yes, it's just Jeff Neal. It's nothing that special. Jeff Neal's never been KO'd before in the UFC. He's never been KO'd. He's like Shavkat's best win, and he's never been KO'd before. One of the most durable guys, and Prates schooled him in 1 round. Like, that has to count for something. Come on, man. Like, just look at that. The last striker that Leon prepared for was JDM. Very different style to Carlos Prates. Carlos Prates, super heavy, super high level Muay Thai specialist. Super powerful. True KO artist. Doesn't have the greatest defense at times, but JDM, super precise, amazing head movement, insane boxing. Doesn't really use kicks, or he'll use like body kicks every now and then, but not like as much as a Muay Thai fighter like Carlos Prates does. Like, just very different stylistic matchup. Then yes, people may say Ian Gary. Isn't he kind of similar to Leon? Wrong. Ian Gary, what he beat Prates with was movement, moving around on the outside, finding openings, not staying in one place, not letting Prates land his shots. You look at Leon, has he ever really moved like that? Leon is normally a pretty stationary fighter who just kind of picks at you from range and hopes to win a decision. Like, it's just a very different fight. Then this final point, Leon just might not be able to deal with adversity anymore. If you look at his last two fights, this guy has been getting beat up. And yes, he's fighting wrestlers. No, this is a very different stylistic matchup from Carlos Prates, but Leon just got beat up in that Brady fight. He didn't look good at all. Maybe Leon's just not the same anymore. Maybe he's just washed. Like, maybe he just can't deal with the adversity anymore whenever it approaches him. Maybe he's just not a good welterweight anymore. Like, we really don't know. Now, it may sound like I'm bashing on Leon this whole video, but now we have to talk about why I think Leon Edwards will win this fight. Why Leon Edwards will win. So Leon Edwards actually has nearly even as many points as there is to Carlos Prates winning this fight. There's also nearly as many as to Leon winning this fight. And we gotta talk about that. First of all, Leon's been very confident taking this fight. He may see something we don't. Like, a lot of us I know we're thinking, why would you take a fight against Carlos Prates? This dude is so dangerous. But maybe Leon Edwards sees something that he can abuse. Some sort of advantage he may have. Maybe that's why. Maybe his confidence is a good thing here. Maybe it's good though, because Leon's not known for being very confident. He's known for wanting the easiest fights possible. So taking this might be a change. Maybe Leon Edwards is enjoying training again. Maybe he's enjoying those things again. Maybe he really cares about fighting again. Maybe he wants to get back to his belt. We don't know. So then the next one. This is very important. I've heard a lot of YouTubers talk about this, but we really need to talk about it. There's this misconception that Leon Edwards breaks to pressure, which is completely untrue. He breaks to wrestling pressure, not striking, which is something that Carlos Prates is not a wrestler. He may have a BJJ black belt, I believe, but that's not wrestling. That's not pressure wrestling that's going to take down Leon Edwards. Carlos Prates is not going to be able to shoot takedowns in this fight. So it's just striking pressure. I don't think Leon breaks to that. I don't. This is another point that actually matters a lot. Prates' heavy Muay Thai stance. This opens up for Leon's calf kicks. Leon was for real. He has some of the best calf kicks in the division. Like, his leg kicking game is elite, honestly. It always has been. Lands a ton of calf kicks. Like, he's just very good at that. Oh my god, dude, the calf kicks, like Joe Rogan would say. But no, really, calf kicks can really open things up for Leon. And another thing I would actually like to add on to this is that because of Prates' heavy Muay Thai stance, this is also going to open up for Prates to be very open to counters from Leon. Like, Leon will be able to counter, like, Prates with his Muay Thai stance, with his high guard, and it's just going to get him. Like, Leon will be able to land those counters. I really do believe so. Another point that we need to bring up, Leon Edwards has fought at a championship level. He has fought Kamaru Usman twice. He has fought Colby Covington, whether deserved or not. He has fought Bilal Muhammad. He has fought Sean Brady. The best fighter that Carlos Prates has fought are Ian Gary, who he lost to, and the best fighter that he has beat is Jeff Neal. Is Jeff Neal truly at a championship level? Shopcott fans may want you to believe that, but truthfully, he's not, man. We gotta talk about that. Like, Prates has not fought at the championship level that Leon is. That might just be an advantage that can win you a fight. Sometimes that championship level matters, especially against a younger, unexperienced fighter like Carlos Prates. So we'll see. This next one's very important. Leon Edwards is a lot better wrestler. Leon Edwards will be able to mix in takedowns if he really needs to. Leon Edwards has taken down nearly every one of his opponents in the UFC. First guy ever to take down Kamaru Usman in a fight in the UFC. Only other guy to do that since then is Chimaev, and we know how good Hamzat Chimaev is. So, like, truthfully though, Leon has taken down nearly all of his opponents in the UFC. Pull up UFC stats, and you will see that that is something that is true. And I think that he may be able to mix in the takedowns versus Prates, which is something that's really interesting. And also something to notice: Prates struggled and lost against a taller opponent in Ian Gary. I don't know exactly how the heights will be here. I just know Leon. I know Leon will be taller, but I don't know how much. We'll have to see weigh-ins for that. But at some level, like, we've seen Prates struggle against a taller opponent who used kicks on the outside, who fought on the outside. Why? Who's not to say that doesn't happen again with Leon Edwards here? Who's not to say he just takes Ian Gary's game plan and runs with that? Like, truthfully. This next one's actually really important too, and this is a 3-round fight. Cardio is not going to be a factor for Leon here. Leon may just be able to coast to a 3-round decision and pick apart Peratas from range. Like, yes, Leon has shown problems with his cardio in the Brady fight, in the Bilal fight over 5 rounds, but this is a 3-rounder. Even in that 5th round versus Colby Covington, he struggled. But if we look here, this is a 3-round fight. This might not leave Peratas enough time to find that KO shot. This might not leave him enough time to put Leon out cold. And over a decision, Leon might just be able to beat him up on the feet a bit and land his shots, not do a ton of damage, but do enough to win the fight. And also, this last one's really important. Leon Edwards has not fought a pure striker in 4 years. He might just show that he's an elite striker and no one knew. He's always asking for strikers. That's what he wants to fight. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe he just knows that he's better than everyone in this division at striking. Like, truthfully, maybe that's just something he knows he's better at. So now that I've brought up my points for both fighters, who will I be picking? This is tough, man. It's a really close fight. This is probably like a 50-50, 60-40 fight, maybe. Like, but who will I be picking for now? I have to go with Carlos Prates by round 2 TKO. I'm sorry, man. He just has this ability to find a KO shot against nearly anyone that can't be underestimated. The way I saw him go out there and KO Jeff Neal in 1 round. That's Shavkat's like best win, arguably, and he just slept him in a round. Like, that cannot be underestimated, man. It's truly great. And then also, look at even in a fight that he struggled heavily, and you can argue he lost 4 rounds to Ian Gary, but in that 5th round, he has Ian Gary in a ground and pound sequence and nearly finishes him. Let's say that fight was on a full camp. Carlos Prates was able to, actually train for Ian Gary, use the Fighting Nerds camp, which, yes, at this point, oh my, the Fighting Nerds camp. But it's still something, and maybe they could have found something with Ian Gary and gotten him out of there if that fight wasn't on short notice. Because Ian Gary's just made for those short notice fights. He really is. Also, something that Prates has done is shown he has the ability to have cardio. Just look at that Ian Gary fight. Round 5, he still nearly gets the finish. Like, yes, he fumbles the finish, but he still shows the ability to be able to do something later in the fight, not just quit, not just fall apart. He showed something to do in that. He showed he was able to do something in that 5th round against Ian Gary. That's something that just can't be understated. He has very solid takedown defense. Like, even if Leon shoots, he made Ian Gary go 4 for 19. And yes, is Ian Gary not the best wrestler? No. Would I even argue Leon's a better wrestler? Yes. I think Leon may be able to land those takedowns, more takedowns than Gary. But is that enough? Then this is also another one. Even though Leon Edwards has never been KO'd in the UFC or in MMA in general, but he's also never really fought any real KO artists, man. Look, the most dangerous people we fought was a 35-year-old Donald Cerrone at welterweight. Which, that's just not dangerous, man. 35-year-old cowboy at welterweight is not dangerous. He was on was like 1-3 in his last 4 fights, I believe, at the time. Then a 2017 Vicente Luque, who's more of a submission grappler, more of a Darce guy. Like, had very nice striking at the time. That version of Vicente Luque was very good, but that wasn't even a prime Vicente Luque. I say prime Vicente Luque was the one that fought Michael Chiesa around that 2020, 2021, when he was around 27 years old, when he was looking like he was the future of the division before Jeff Neal gave him a big old brain bleed. They call him Hands of Steel Neal for a reason. But like, truthfully, Leon has just never fought any real KO artist. Peratas is truly a KO artist. He has shown this ability to find the shot, no matter what happens, dude. Like, that just can't be understated. And even if this goes to decision, which there's a good chance it can, Leon Edwards is a really tough guy to put out. Can Leon really land enough damaging shots to convince the judges, whether fair or not, that he should win this fight? Like, we go to the judges' scorecard. I think Carlos Prates would be able to out-damage Leon Edwards and win a decision if he needed to. Like, I think he'd be able to do that in 3 rounds. And something here this is another thing, the height thing. Something that I used as an advantage for Leon. But this also can be flipped in. Edwards will only have like a 1 or 2 inch height difference compared. The reason Ian Gary is like 6'4", he had that 3-inch height advantage, at least over Carlos Prates. Like, come on, dude. Like, And then also Carlos Prates, I believe, has a 78-inch reach, and will be compared to Leon Edwards' 73-inch reach, which is a 5-inch reach advantage. Could pose things. Could allow Prates to hit Leon on the outside to be able to do things. Avoid that height advantage. Then this other one, I discussed it earlier, but we need to. This is bad, man. Leon was nearly finished by Brian Barberina, man. He was nearly put out cold. That fight happens today. The current refs would stop it, bro. Like, truth. Like, I just don't know. And he also nearly got knocked out by an old Nate Diaz. If Nate Diaz doesn't emote there and just goes for the win, tries to KO Leon Edwards, Leon Edwards is KO'd by Nate Diaz. Like, that's that's just how it has to be put. Like, come on, man. And then this final point, I think maybe the most important, dude. Leon Edwards' weakness, it's not pressure, like many will make you believe. It's not pressure. It's his lack of output. It's always been this way. The dude averages like 2 significant strikes per minute, dude. The dude just does not throw nothing. He just doesn't throw enough. He doesn't throw enough volume. He just doesn't throw anything, really. He doesn't throw enough leg kicks, even though he has some of the nastiest calf kicks in the game, man. He just doesn't do it. Well, Prates, on the other hand, has very nice volume, has very nice output, and he showed that he's very good at. This is something he can exploit. You look at Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal's a very also low output fighter. Just uses his heavy boxing hands to try to land damaging shots to sway the rounds towards him or knock out his opponent. But against Prates, that wasn't. Prates was able to outstrike him, able to just throw way more than just. Anytime that like Carlos Prates would land on Jeff Neal, he couldn't even land back. Like, he was just completely like in the dust. So I think with all this in mind, I think I will have Carlos Prates by round 2 TKO. As I just think what will happen is that Carlos Prates will be able to land a body knee and make Leon quit. I gotta be honest. I just think Leon has quit in him. I truthfully believe that he's just not the same Leon Edwards that fought Kamaru Usman 4 years ago. Like, we just have to look at that. We have to. Now, saying that, I still believe this is like a 60-40 fight. I'm going 60. It's like 60% Carlos Prates, 40% Leon Edwards. Like, if you look at that, still an incredibly close fight. And I do think this fight, and I think anyone that thinks either Carlos Prates will smoke him or run around is stupid. Leon Edwards is a former champ for a reason. Anyone that thinks Leon Edwards is just gonna piece up Carlos Prates for 3 rounds is also stupid, as they don't understand how good of a striker Carlos Prates is. Talking to you, Kenny Okoye, whatever the hell his name is. Talking to you, buddy. Like, come on. So, hope y'all like the breakdown on Carlos Prates versus Leon Edwards. If y'all did, maybe hit me with a subscribe, trying to grow this MMA channel. We'll have a lot dropping this week. Wednesday, JDM Islam breakdown. Friday, I'll have a fun little video talking about some people that I think could beat the current underrated fighters who could beat the current champs in their divisions. So stay tuned to that. Anyways, peace out. Classic MMA. That's enough.